Hello, and welcome to the Majors of the Month series. I am Emily Long, Career Advisor at High Point University. This series is dedicated to helping you explore and understand what you can do with the various majors HPU offers. Each month, a different major will be highlighted, and we'll host a panel, including a faculty member, employers, and career and professional development team member to discuss aspects of the major. The major of this month is religion, and today we'll be speaking with three individuals about what you can do with the religion major. We have Reverend Dr. Chris Franks, Department Chair and Associate Professor of Religion and Philosophy at HPU. Reverend Dane Jackson, HPU alum and minister with students and their families at Providence Baptist Church. And finally, Cassie Chittister, HPU alum and recruiter at IQ Talent Partners. One thing you may not know about the religion major is that there are various fields you can pursue. Some of those include ministry and other religiously affiliated institutions, social and humanitarian services, education, business, communication, international relations, and others. Be sure to utilize the What Can I Do at This Major link at the end of the panel discussion to further explore your options as a religion major. So let's get started. Reverend Dr. Franks, I'll have you introduce yourself first.
Sure. Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you, Emily. And I'll just say that I'm the chair of the Department of Religion and Philosophy and have been teaching here at HPU, primarily teaching courses on Christian ethics and Christian theology for 18 years now.
Great, thank you. It's so great to have you here. And Reverend Jackson, I'll have you introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah, I'm Dane Jackson. I'm HPU alum, class of 2008, where I double majored in religion and philosophy. And so now I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you've said I minister to students and their families at Providence Baptist Church.
Great, thank you so much. We're happy to have you. And Cassie, can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Hi, I'm Cassie. Thank you, Emily, for organizing this. I graduated High Point in 2018 with a religion and marketing major, and I'm now located in Nashville, Tennessee, where I work at a professional services firm and specialize in recruiting. So building and scaling multiple teams and businesses is how I spend my time.
That's great. Thank you so much. And so we're excited to highlight today these different areas that you can go into religion, both those that we may typically think of with ministry and maybe those that we don't. So we're happy to have you all here. So my first question is directed towards Dr. Reverend Franks. Why is it great to be a religion major?
Well, I'm tempted to talk about our department specifically and how you get a small community where everybody knows each other. But I want to focus instead on the study of religion itself and what's so awesome about it. And I just want to say three things. First, I would say it matters. When you study religion, you're studying things that matter to people, things that people build their lives on, that they build their societies on, that they risk their lives for, and that they lean on in the face of death. So it's stuff that matters. But in a department like ours, it's not going to be like the Thanksgiving dinner where somebody starts talking about religion and everybody gets uncomfortable all of a sudden, because you study it in the context of the liberal arts, in a spirit of inquiry and dialogue. And second, I would say it's holistic. Because religion touches really every part of society. It relates to politics, it relates to science, to history, to poetry, to media, to business. So just about any aspect of society that you might be interested in, you can relate it to religion. And in studying religion, you're not just looking at one aspect of humanity, just like the physical stuff we're made of, or just the ideas in our heads. This study is really looking at the whole human person, the intellect, the emotions, the body, the social impulse, and the longing of the heart. So it's holistic. And third, I'd say, like any liberal arts discipline, this is a major whose skills are transferable. Studying religion is not just for church work, although it's great for that, but learning about what matters so deeply to people is learning to understand people. which is important in any line of work. People who are similar to you, people who are different from you, and you learn to develop both critical thinking and sympathetic understanding. You develop both improved reading comprehension and how to express your ideas clearly, all these things that are so useful in a variety of fields.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Those are three great reasons. So my next question, I will direct first to Reverend Jackson. Can you tell us why employers like to hire religion majors from your perspective?
Yeah, and I'm one of the people in the first category that Dr. Franks mentioned, those that are working in the local church. So I am full-time vocational ministry. And so for my church that I work for the congregation that employs me, that called me, I think a lot of things that they were looking for was not only a background educationally in theology, which starts at that religion and philosophy level. So could I think critically? Did I have writing and presentation skills? They were looking for people skills, which the religion major will help you develop and hone. Things like empathy, which translates in the church world as pastoral care. Do we care for one another? Are we able to be with people in their joyful times and oftentimes in their worst of times? Do we embrace diversity? You know, even though I work for a local church, part of a denomination that has, you know, very specific thoughts theologically, socially, I think churches are also looking for folks that can embrace all people. And who can take people that are different from one another and bring them together for the common good. A religion major is also good when it comes to the realms of values and ethics. I think people like to hire religion majors because they know they have that base of knowing what is right and what is good and being able to have those conversations and lead people towards what is right and good. And then again, on the local side, there's also the global complement to that. You know, the religion majors is also focuses on world religions, which helps us to understand people again that are different than us. Doesn't just focus on Christianity. It focuses on everything, and so it's a great way to be able to speak with a global vocabulary and also speak to contemporary issues using old ideas. And so I think it's this great pairing of past, present, and future. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That's great. And Cassie, from your perspective as a recruiter, can you tell us why employers would be interested in religion majors?
Yes. Well, what I found in my own personal experience is just the curiosity. It's something unique and different on a resume. Not a lot of people go into the business world with a religion major. And so it's going to be something to just start an initial conversation, asking the why of what led you to major in that, why it's important to you, and what skills you've gained from it. So again, like just from my own personal experience, every single employer that I've interviewed with has always asked, why is this on your resume? And what have you gained from that? So it really does kind of help to stand out when you're maybe in a batch of a lot of different applicants. So I know that for me personally, when I'm going through resumes, it's something that I also notice and ask about too. So I think that it's like an easy call out and something to start a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see how that is intriguing when you see a major that you don't normally see on the resume. So my next question, speaking of resumes, I'll have Reverend Dr. Franks start for us here. What are some great things that you can put on your resume as a religion major?
Let me just mention a few things, and I want to start with undergraduate research. In the religion major, you do a lot of writing, and it culminates with a senior thesis project that we call senior seminar. And that kind of research develops all kinds of important skills that you'll take with you into whatever you do next. Second, I would say community service. The service learning program at High Point University started in this department, and we have lots of courses that hook people up with local agencies that serve the community. And that's great. Put on a resume too. Also internships. Our students often do internships either in churches or in nonprofits or other places. And those are always good for a resume. And I'd also mention study abroad because I think it's such a great experience and another thing to launch into conversation with potential employers about what did that do for you? What did you learn?
That's great. Thank you so much. You definitely hit all of the main points, I think. So Cassie, do you have anything to add there about some great things that we could put on our resume as a religion major?
Yeah, just going off of Dr. Franks, what he kind of mentioned at the beginning that he didn't want to focus on is that what's really great about being a religion major at HPU is that it is a tight-knit community, and also just forming relationships with the professors is what I valued the most as being a religion major at High Point. And so anything that you want to get involved in, if you have an interest, they will help you do that in the community. And so finding those great internships or community involvement, those are the things that you're going to ultimately add to your resume. And it's invaluable having that tight-knit community at High Point.
Great. Thank you so much. And then finally, Reverend Jackson, do you have some ideas or maybe even personally what you had on your resume that helped you get your job as a religion major?
Yeah, and there's two things specific to my campus involvement at High Point University. Two of those things were my involvement on the board of stewards to the chapel, which for someone that wanted to go into local church ministry, vocational ministry, it was very helpful to get a taste of how you plan worship, how you organize weekly services, everything. There were some really tangible ministry skills as being part of that organization. And the second thing I did was I was a resident assistant for 3 years at High Point, and there were so many skills in the realm of leadership and pastoral care that I didn't even know I was doing until later on in ministry. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I was an RA for those reasons. Those are two real ways that if you're pursuing a vocational ministry or not, I would pursue those two things at High Point.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So my final question is, what is your best piece of advice for a religion major at HPU? And I think there are no better people to ask than alum who lived it as religion majors. So I'll have Cassie start for us.
Yeah, I think the best advice that I could give is really just to foster those relationships with your professors and also with other majors in the department. Again, it's such a small major to get involved and to really take advantage of opportunities to learn and grow outside of the classroom and to just take as many classes as you can, because I wish that I could have taken more. I wish my schedule would have allowed that, but 4 years goes by really fast. And I think everybody wishes that they had longer at High Point.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great piece of advice. Definitely forming those connections and maintaining them. That's great. Reverend Jackson, I'll have you go next.
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is take as many opportunities as are presented to you to write, publish, present. I know that there are conferences that religion and philosophy majors can attend where they can take this research and present it and get feedback. And that's so helpful, not just in those presentation communication skills, but especially if you're looking at master's level work, doctoral level work, all that is going to help build that foundation in your academic pursuits. I would also say dabble in something that is not religion at High Point. I know it's a liberal arts school, and so that's going to come naturally. But for me, being a religion and philosophy major and then immediately turning around and going to seminary, I kept thinking, man, I wish I would have spent some more time in psychology or in education. Lastly, I'll say, and I say this knowing that Dr. Franks is one screen over, lean on the faculty and the teachers and the professors at High Point. They gave me some of the best advice not just in choosing courses and what to pursue academically, but really when I was exploring my call to ministry, Dr. Franks, I remember, was one of the people that had these just deep and personal conversations to help me hone that and to ultimately go into what I'm doing now. And so Dr. Franks, thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's great. I heard you say, think about areas outside of religion. So definitely exploring opportunities for minors and then those connections with faculty. That's huge. So Reverend Dr. Franks, I'll have you conclude for us here. What's your best piece of advice for a religion major at HBU?
Well, one piece of advice I would add to what they've said is take courses from as many different instructors as you can, because there's always a new perspective to learn. You sort of get your favorites, and that's fine that you take a lot of classes from one person, but it's your own soul that grows from studying under many different teachers, I think. So I would suggest that. And I would also suggest share your passion. This stuff that we're doing is about stuff that matters to people. It's exciting. It's a pathway to a lot of different careers. So don't hide your lamp under a bushel, but be who you are and share your passion with others.
That's great. Thank you so much. Sharing your passion and developing that passion. I think that's very important. So thank you all so much for being here with us today for the Majors of the Month. Reverend Dr. Franks, Reverend Jackson, Cassie, thank you all so much for being here. And students, I would like to draw your attention to the links that you will see on your screen for what can I do with this major, where you can continue to explore opportunities that you can pursue with the religion major. And then finally, I want to encourage you to schedule an appointment with a career advisor in our office so that we can help you develop and discover those passions and hopefully decide if religion is a great fit for you. So thank you so much for joining us today for Majors of the Month.